It's definitely.
I still want to filter for slightly horny.
Slightly horny.
Only slightly.
All the way horny.
Horny, yeah.
Slightly horny.
What is our horny gradient here?
There's a. It's not a gap valve. It's a cap. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly. The show covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most important, that's Sandy. Whatever the hell else we come up with. And then, as I was saying, that's Sandy and Jordan Swang together with you. Shot Realm Dynamic helping us for Cocaine Voltron. What's up?
I just realized.
Yeah,
I just realized on Cocaine Voltron's like the left or right facing foot. That cat is given like some side eye.
He's up to something. He's a little shifty.
He's shifty. I just realized that.
I've never noticed that before.
He's just like, what's going on over there,
man? Now I need to further that animation where it zooms out a little bit and put some shit over there.
Yeah, dun. Or like, no, it's the fucking dramatic gopher. Dun, dun,
oh, right?
dun.
Yeah. Dude. Pretty big show packed up for you glorious mutants this week. But we got to give Sandy some extra attention because Sandy, do you feel any different? Do you smell different? Do you got some mucks going on?
It smells like the art teacher's room.
Oh, well, I mean, that, yes. Yeah, that art teacher's room, like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The reason I bring that up, now, we had some technical issues in the pre-super shows and that we fixed with a towel, but I'm not going to spoil it for you if you want to go back and listen to that if you're a patron. It'll be available tomorrow. But just to keep things extra complicated, Sandy is coming through on a mini PC that is ARM-based, an Orange Pi. It's fanless. It's a little box about that big. I finally got that bullshit working, kinda. WebRTC. We got NetJack working. I got PipeWire nerfed. We're just using regular jack on top of that. We had a camera that flipped the absolute hell out earlier, but that I don't think that's ARM related. And it might overheat and explode because it is overclocked like a mother right now. There's all your fair warnings, man. That's all I got, man. How about you?
That's amazing, man. Because like I didn't think you could use your arm to jack arm me.
You could use your arm to jack, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard rumor.
I was gonna do more of a. Does this make Sandy the annoying orange now? Because he's on the orange pie.
He does, dude. Like, I don't even want to touch that fucking. That case is on the floor, man. Oh, good on you, orange.
Is it like actually orange from the heat now? Is it like glowing?
It's glowing.
I had all this shit set up like the other night, and like I come in and out. And last night we come in for the Trackmania, and I shut everything down. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh right, I forgot to cut off the camera. And I come back in here with all the lights off, and that orange pie is sitting on the edge of the desk on, like, it's a little orange pie pad where it doesn't scratch up the glass. And I wasn't paying attention. I forgot all the wires, and wham! Just right at it. It smacked hard enough to where you go, let me cut the lights on and cut that back on and see if it's still in one piece. It still is. So good on the engineering.
Survives the drop test. That's always good to.
Yeah, dude. This is like something I've been wanting to do, is like being able to replace like these business PCs that we've had forever, and they're noisy and they're small and they get hot and like they're criminally underpowered with just small little things that I can just like stick under here, with some tape, maybe a rubber band or two. And
like we joke, but maybe that's like an actual thing we need to like put on you need to put on the reviews for interfacing Linux. Like, these things are small and light, and this thing will eventually go flying. How physically sturdy is it, right? Like,
if I ever get to the budget, I ever get to the point where I'm like a legitimate fucking YouTuber, I give everyone my word. All electronics will undergo a Mayo submersion test. Like anything
will it Mayo?
This has been like a long running thing in my head. Like anything that I can plug an Ethernet cable into or a monitor into, I want to submerge it in mayonnaise and see how long it runs. Like I think that'll be a valid point of data to test hardware.
Honestly, that makes sense, because you know why? Like if guns can have the peanut butter test, Why not have technology have the Mayo test?
Are you
Always.
being crunchy this week, man? You have anything crunchy outside of just all right? How about you, Jordan? Anything?
I had a fucking eventful week.
Fuck yeah.
I took a day off on Thursday, got a bunch of like medical shit done.
Oh, okay.
That's always fun. Had to give my blood to the Dracula clinic. And then this weekend in Toronto is Breakout Con, which is a role-playing game and board gaming convention. So I went yesterday, I went today, and I'm going all day tomorrow. And yeah, it's good shit. I played in some Call of Cthulhu games. I lived in the first one, and I did not survive the second one, but that was because in a firefight with a bunch of fishmen, I was the last man standing. I was out of bullets. The little fish man got me by the neck, and I'm like, fuck this shit, you're not taking me out. And so I threw my character out a window. And I'm like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck you, you're not killing me. I'm not gonna give you the fucking pleasure of doing this shit.
I'll do it myself.
But as it turns out, Jordan was the hero of the day because I jumped out. That allowed the paramedics to arrive in time and save everyone else. So, moral of the story, when in doubt, and you have a fishman clamped to your neck, jump out a window.
Man, so like when you say vampire, I thought about like time vampires, and I saw something that reminded me of you because you played a little bit of it on stream. Was Disco Elysium?
Yes,
It's getting a mobile version.
I can see that, like it could work on mobile. It's I mean yeah, it's not really an action game. It's very decision oriented. Although I guess yeah, if you have a lot of voice acting in the game, and it is like the new version is fully voice acted, I can see that working.
It might be. Hopefully, it's better than because I played Monster Hunter on mobile. Not this week. It was last week. I was like, give me that. I want to try this. I'm like, this is all you do?
Disco.
No, not Disco Elysium, Monster Hunter, whatever it is on mobile. You dodge roll and you click on the thing, and eventually you die. At least I did.
Yeah.
I just, Disco has like one of my favorite moments in all of games where you can like stick a gun in your mouth and pull the trigger to try and win an argument.
Why not?
It gives you a game over screen, but I just appreciate that it took the option seriously. There's a lot of games that give you like the false choice of like, do you want to do this, yes or no? And if you select no, it's like, well, I don't believe you, so I'm going to give you the thing anyways, right? So I love it when a game follows through on. No?
Even like that, man. I have always appreciated games that would kill you for your choices, especially like pre-predicting, like Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
Eat a fish, instantly dead. I'm like, what? It just kills you like that. And that was another thing with the like the game with the drunk missiles. The back when Doom, I think we talked about that maybe in the after shows and last week. I can remember Rise of the Triad. When you tried to use Doom cheat codes, it would instantly kill you. And I'm like,
yeah, they did that with like the Super Nintendo version of Gradius, where if you enter the Konami code, you just explode.
Nice.
Yeah,
man, we need to bring back websites that do shit when you punch in the Konami code.
Yeah, that was the thing for a while.
It was. What was that? Like, I mean, it was worthwhile. Like, you'd go to a website, like a tech website, and be like, could I do that? And I remember the first time that worked, I'm like, that's really cool. But even then, I could be like, this is going to be some bullshit in the future, dude. And here we are, man. There's no Konami code for our horse.
Yeah, that's because our horse doesn't take the correct number of inputs. I tried an Atari joystick. I tried a Nintendo Power Pad. I tried an HTC Vive. It seems like the only thing that might work is the Steam
Linux update.
Oh yeah,
he's coming. He's coming.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
coming.
It's coming.
What is?
Just SteamOS, my friends. And so a recent article that came out from PCGuide.com, was it Jack Goodall, wrote this article, this beautiful, brilliant article, revolutionary article talking about SteamOS and where the hell is it? Is it coming soon? We'll never tell. Yeah, so they go on
Bradley
talking
thinks
about
otherwise, though.
Oh, yes. But they go on talking about how, like, some of the newest Ryzen 9 CPUs are coming out soon, which I think it's, next month or something like that? That they hit retails. But yeah, talking about like different PC builds and talking about how the Legion Go S is shipping with SteamOS, and where's our port of SteamOS, the open port of SteamOS that everyone can have access to, you know, with NVIDIA support and stuff like that. And yeah, it was an interesting read, but nothing. It's nothing we haven't dealt with already because, like Valve, they run on Valve time, so it's like, yeah,
and so this is all based off of sadly it's Brad Lynch, occasional person we talk about, or news leaks we talk about on the show, saying that here Valve has been pushing a lot of like generic platform code to SteamOS. There's like a generic bootloader screen now for a non-specific hardware. So this must mean that SteamOS 3 is coming out and will be available to download right now. You can go to steamos.com.ru.exe and download it on your computer right now.
It's too late, Valve. I've already got the domain. SteamOS. It's a cereal.
SteamOS. But yeah, like we've talked about this at length. Like I think my opinion is frankly like I feel Valve really wants to keep a lid on like the GA version of SteamOS, just because like they saw what happened with Android, right? Like Android has a very negative reputation now, despite being like arguably a more open platform than iOS. That has been a double-edged sword. It means that like, all the cheap shit is now running Android, and now Android is considered a cheap operating system. The same thing may happen where you get a bunch of handhelds that are running GA version of SteamOS, then people might say, yo, SteamOS is crap because it's on these crap things.
I think, okay, like to some extent, I mean, like the origin story of all this is Brad posted this picture. It's just SteamOS, yes. And everybody's like, all right, sure,
sure.
That's almost here. Okay. Then he's like, by the way, I didn't make the image I posted above. It's the official generic splash screen for SteamOS general release, non-Steam Deck devices, followed by some GameScope session stuff from GitHub. And I'm like,
I don't know. To me, it really seems that like if Valve would want to like make the Steam Deck or SteamOS as generic as possible, it makes sense if you want to onboard as many devices as quickly as possible, without having to like do a lot of platform specific implementation, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. Oh, well, we need to explicitly support the Legion Go and we need to support the MSI Claw, blah, 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 blah. If we have a operating system that generally works, we can, have a better opportunity of going to these handheld manufacturers and saying like, hey, you should offer a SteamOS variant. It's going to require literally nothing on your part.
It does. I think we'll see like the generic, and this is what I'm going to be interested in when it comes to like the generic stuff, because we'll finally get SteamOS like, on a refrigerator and on your dishwasher or your
I want it on my tankless water heater.
Dude, I mean, if it's there. Yeah. And the other thing we get to look forward to, and I misspoke last time I brought this up, is the Linus Tech Tips. Linus said, and I thought it was during a WHAM show, and I went back to like try to find the clip to like put it in the next day for on Sunday. Yeah. And it was in the live stream like that week or the previous week where he's building a PC. When somebody asked one of the questions, like, you guys are going to go back and try the Linux challenge again? And they said, when SteamOS comes out, they're going to be putting it on their desktop PCs, which is going to end. I don't even know what to say to that. It still hurts my brain, but I'm looking forward to it. This is, I was talking to Jordan earlier. I'm just feeling it in my bones, man. I feel like any minute now, like, we're going to get a download link of like, here, go download SteamOS. What are you going to put it on? I'm going to put it on the 5600Gs, one of them at least, and be like, you're a Steam box, do Steam things.
Like, frankly, I don't think I would ever install it on a box, period. Like,
really?
Maybe if I was building a standalone, like, Steam box, like, console type thing. But, like, I don't
you don't want to run SteamOS? This is your desktop?
I know, it's crazy.
It is.
I was dropped on my head several times.
I mean, you can dual boot that and backtrack.
I got to dual boot that in FreeBSD.
Oh.
Yeah, but don't you want SteamOS to install your printers? Like I think SteamOS would be great for printers.
I'm sure it would, especially for like Civilization style games where I can just print out page at a time.
Yeah.
But like and like that's the thing. There's a lot of excitement for SteamOS as sort of like a standalone thing. But I think Cutter John brought it up in the chat here. Like what runs fine on Fedora, it runs fine on Arch, it runs fine on Ubuntu, whatever. If you are if you already have a computer that you're running Linux on, there's no reason to install SteamOS. You can just install Steam and the games will work.
This is great. What you say is correct for us.
But like, do you think a layperson is going to like, I'm going to install any operating system on my computer?
They're not installing Linux. They're installing Steam.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Yeah, like they're like
it's an operating system. They're not going to even scratch that level.
they don't even know what the fucking operating system is. They're installing the Steam.
Yeah, you go to steam.com and you download the steam.exe and you run it. Like, yeah, they're
no, the ISO so they can have the Steam. They're going to install the Steam. Not
you double click on the ISO and it installs.
You got to go to the GitHub and save it as a web page. We've been over this. God damn it, you stupid smelly nerd.
You download the GitHub web page and then you mount it as an ISO and then you install it. Yeah.
Can we just give a shout out for the ease of like being able to mount fucking ISOs under Linux without any extra bullshit? Just right click mount, and I'm like, yes, give me that whole thing.
They recently added that into Windows, and it's like, oh, it only took you 20 fucking years.
God.
Yeah, exactly. More than that, almost 30 years.
I'm gonna miss installing daemon tools.
Yeah.
Up next, Steam client update for March 10th, because hey, Steam's back to doing shit this week, which is neat for us.
Yeah, there was an update on March 10th, and then there was another quick one on March 11th because there was a little whoopsie crash when they first launched this update, but that is fixed now. Got some cool stuff in this one. The game notes are now available online, so if you make notes in the Steam overlay while you're playing your game, they'll show up on your other devices, which is real fucking handy. The virtual keyboard is also now modified to better work with these Steam notes functionality. There was also a bug fixed in Steam Input where under Linux, if you unplug controller 1, then all of the other controllers on the plugged into the system would be locked into their player slots. So player 2 wouldn't be automatically bumped to player 1. That is now fixed. And one other cool thing is you can now remotely install demos, which is really handy. Like I know a lot of people like use the Steam mobile app to purchase games, and it's nice to be able to just be like, hey, I'm on the bus or whatever, or I'm on the go, I want to have this ready to play when I get home, and you can just press a button on your phone and it will install. That's real. And now that functionality extends to demos, which is good shit.
Really happy to see this, man. And when you bring up like the game notes are now available online, what exactly is that?
So they added something to Steam Overlay a while ago where you can essentially just have these little text fields.
Okay, that I am aware of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it going to be like Crusher?
Yeah, they're just synced now.
So it's like Cloud Sync.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like Google Docs for your Steam Notes, basically.
Dude, Valve, you're falling behind because Microsoft announced this week that they plan on adding game notes. Copilot's coming to the Xbox, kids. Probably you're wondering.
Official Microsoft aimbot. Yes. It's Copilot.
Clippy's coming to Xbox.
Okay, hear me out, though. Hear me out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, see, you're way too excited about this.
Yeah.
Rushing to get the credit card out. Got to get a new Xbox. This is going to sell dozen of Xbox. No, think about it, though. The reflex reaction, when I heard that like Copilot's coming to Xbox, I'm like, oh, here comes Clippy. Then I thought about it. Because I was like, oh, bad. Get it away. Would it be a useful feature? I'm like, okay, what if they had something like this in Steam? What would I get a use out of? How many times have you just been fucking stuck somewhere and you're like, all right, I got to figure out, all right, what's the name of this fucking level? Okay, shit, okay, there's this level. Okay, we're going to try to Google that. You're like, no, oh, God damn it. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Level name. Okay.
Is there a proper noun or an enemy or a like?
Yeah. And like you're like clicking through a YouTube video trying to find somebody through their like 14-part Let's Play and like, oh, that's how I solve that. If there was a feature like, just like, the fuck did I get around this part? And it could reliably tell me that, I would be okay, but it's not just going to be that. No. And it's going to be like, hey, no, this is how you solve this puzzle. Also, would you be interested in a subscription to Office 365?
Yeah. No. Then you start getting messages on LinkedIn going like, hey, I see you're using OpenAI. You wanna come work for Microsoft?
Ah, man, I love updates from Valve. I'm happy to see that. Also, desperately want a 64-bit client. The more I'm playing around with this ARM stuff, I'm like, man, that'd make my life so much easier. I had no idea, though. One of the updates was like, hey, we fixed Monster Hunter on remote play, and I'm like, did you? Like, who I have to, like, there had to have been like one person trying to play Monster Hunter with a remote play.
Yeah, I don't. Why? Like,
So-
why?
I wonder how much of it has to do with like in-home streaming stuff as well, because I'm sure people are playing like, oh, I want to play Monster Hunter Wilds on my Steam Deck,
Right.
and what running on my
Or
running
on
on
your
my
TV,
computer.
or-
Yeah.
And one thing that is in this, which I had no idea was broken, because I think all of us, and probably most of you at home, have shader compilation enabled in the background.
Yes.
So it's just there. And if you don't, then you've been probably scratching your head for a minute, because traditionally when you go to launch a game, and if you don't have that enabled, you get to sit through the mini game of compiling Vulkan shaders and pretend that like you're a Windows user or some shit like that. You cut that shit on in Steam, it's just going to do it when Steam's not doing anything, and you're kind of like, wait, what's going on here? Well, that broke for those of you who didn't have it disabled. So games were just taking a minute to load. You didn't get the compiling Vulkan shaders. It was just like, yeah, for some reason this game now takes like a minute and a half to load sometimes. Now you know why. The screen's back. The warning's back.
Definitely had that a few times. It's like, why is this happening? What is going on
What's going
here?
on here, man? So,
Yeah.
all right. Steam Year in Review 2024. 2025 is practically over. We're almost done with it, so it's time for Valve to tell us a little bit of recap, the tools and features and all the data bits coming out of 2024. Bunch of stuff in here, features for customers, and like we've covered most of this, you know. Game update exceptions, which is cool. The game recording we were just talking about. And I was just like cutting through this, and I'm like, that's interesting. Then it gets down to just like right here towards the bottom about Steam Deck numbers. Just like sitting in here. So apparently, and here we go. They say, you know, Steam Deck generated an incredible 330 million hours of Steam playtime in 2024 alone, which is 64. I mean, the Steam Deck's been out for like 15 years now. 64% increase over 2023, which is wild. Also, I still don't believe, because most played on Steam Deck. I've seen Monster Hunter World. Also, I've seen what Monster Hunter World actually looks like on a Steam Deck, and I'm like, some of y'all got dedication. I respect you for it. But that's kind of wild. And they touch on like VR too. However, they don't share any numbers with how much playtime's going on in VR. They're just like, yeah,
there is some, and that's good enough.
There is some, dude. They tout that, hey, this is the year that they rolled out advanced access, which I don't think I want to be mad at it, but like it doesn't affect me. But I know I'm thinking of like if I was a teenager or something like that, and like the FOMO was still on my system, and like, ooh, I can pay an extra $10 to play it 3 days early. I just don't like that system, to be honest with you. And again, that's up to the developers, but Steam added that on there, and
They also kind of marketed as like a network management feature as well, which is kind of weird. I get why you would maybe do that, but also again, it is scummy to just be like, no, arbitrarily you didn't pay an extra $3, so you're not allowed to play this game. Blah blah blah. It's shitty. So they bring up the Steam recording stuff as well, which is pretty neat, especially if you're on a Steam Deck, right? Like otherwise you'd have to like go into desktop mode and set up OBS and all that crap, and now you can kind of just click a button in Steam Overlay and share your 360 no scopes. Also, they're talking a bit on the developer side about, we've improved our editor for our store page. You can like copy stuff in from word processors, and I'm like, I really need to see the side-by-side comparison of that versus Gutenberg from WordPress.
Yeah, you just want to Control C, Control V at fucking Google Doc over there and be like, does it work?
Yeah, because like again, with like, and like Valve is like light years ahead on the weirdest shit, like WYSIWYG editors and QR code scanners, things that do not have fuck all to do with gaming, and yet they just do it better than literally people who are paid to specialize in that software. I don't know. The other cool thing is that the discoverability stuff is working.
Oh, really?
People are saying revenue is increasing. Games are finding audiences outside of their home countries that wouldn't otherwise be exposed to them. The discoverability efforts are working. about as well as they can, considering the sheer volume of stuff that is on Steam and that gets released to Steam on a daily and weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's all very much by degrees, but like if there was 0, then it would be fucking awful. We've seen that. That's the Epic Game Store.
Another thing that they rolled out an update. They gave it a mention. This is like a little bit of a victory lap for Valve. Was like Steam game recording, which, admittedly, after like when that was announced, I played with it and I completely memory hold that existed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan, you got a good point though. People using it, right?
And that's kind of anything. Like
Jordan's point was like people would be using it on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
And like the one thing
I like my little OBS window in my 720p Steam Deck screen.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about like the use case for it, man. It was because like that was my original thought. I'm like, it's just too late for me because I have OBS set up to how I want everything to be there and how it's recording, and maybe I want to stream too, but if I'm just recording, and when you said Steam Deck, I'm like, there's your use case. What were you saying, Sandy, before we interrupted you like 6 times?
All I was gonna say was like one of the big things I really liked about the year in review was like they at least acknowledged like how they fixed a lot of the issues in terms of dependencies for the Steam Workshop, like all your favorite mods on Steam Workshop. Like they fixed a lot of dependencies, so like if one mod goes down, that's a major dependency for a lot of other mods. That there's a warning saying like this mod is down, so now all these will be uninstalled automatically. So there was a lot of really good updates, but there's definitely still needs to be more, especially with like the filter system. The filter system's still atrocious, even on big picture mode. It's definitely.
I still want to filter for slightly horny.
Slightly horny.
Only slightly.
All the way horny.
Horny, yeah. Like
horny. What is our horny gradient here?
There's a. It's not a gap, Valve. It's a chasm between like just your regular, ordinary, guns and violence and all that. Just like, all right, that's happening with the dragon. Okay, right then.
What did they do that turtle?
Listen, Zardoz had it right. The gun is good. The penis is evil. The gun shoots death. The penis shoots life.
Some games get like lost up. You have to have that thing like what? It's just how they end up getting classified. Like some games are like just like horny fucking adjacent. They're not like overt. Like you play all the horny games you want. I don't give a fuck. But like when I'm looking for games that I want to play, none of them going to be those.
Do we need like an ESRB style rating for hornies?
Yeah.
For game horniness?
Think so.
Just like
I think so.
Like adjacent to like the content rating, it's like how saucy is this game? Are we like?
Yeah, we need like a horny.
We need the red pepper spell.
How many Sean Evanses from Hot Ones is this in terms of spiciness?
There you go.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Good news, people. We got some new games to talk about, and one's going to be a blast from technically the past, but it's going to remind you of a simpler time with Max.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mechanized Corpse Rebirth coming out in, guess what? Day one Linux support, which is phenomenal. You can never go wrong with that. And yeah, this is what was it? Dark Horizons sequel, isn't it? That's what they toted it as. Was it Dark Horizons? Oh, it takes place within the Dark Horizons universe.
It's like Dark Horizons universe, man, because like I went looking from it. I'm like, Mechanized Corpse, is that a game? And on Steam's like, yeah, there was one in 2014. And I was like, why is it still in early access? Oh, they've abandoned it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you could no longer buy it on Valve.
That's some Robo Pew Pew. If you're watching the video version, that is very much a mech game.
This is what Mech Warrior 2 looks like in my memory.
In your mind. Yes.
Yeah. This is what I remember playing. I'm not going to go back and like I've fought this week not to like pull up some video of Mech Warrior 2 because I know it didn't look like this, but this is what it looked like when I was young and I was playing this shit, man. Mm-hmm. And out of the box, there's a demo, go play with it. There's PvP, there's co-op, and just so long as I can spend like 30 minutes like customizing my mech and like walk into a multiplayer, just get one-shotted by some motherfucker. I'm down, dude.
Well, I don't know if you guys had noticed, but like outside of like just having like designing like the big guns and stuff like that, I was really happy about the day one Linux on that. I was like, 4 chairs, man. 4 chairs.
I mean, it's your 2361. Everything's got day one Linux support.
Yeah, kind of. Not all of it.
Ven, it's called System D in 2361.
Okay, there was like this weird part in 2213 where BOS made this comeback, but like this does not bring it up, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm happy to see this. I downloaded it and played it. It's going to be $9.99 if you want to get in that Mechanized Corpse early access, but I downloaded the demo, gave it a try. It's one of those starts where you're like, do I need to open top here? Is something going on? Is there a game?
It's compiling shaders or something.
Yeah.
Something was going on, and it almost got. I was like, wait. And then the title screen comes up. It looks all right. It's been so long since I played a mech game, where it took a minute to get back in my head of like, right, I can turn this way and I'm walking this way.
Yeah.
And then I started zooming and I just went to like, it's got a target range and there's online functionality in the demo that you can play around with. Plenty enough. I mean, it looks good for what it is. I mean, it looks better than what you would expect from being, it doesn't look like, developer art.
It doesn't look like MechWarrior 2, I think is the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Probably feels like it's hit me in all the right spots.
Yeah. No, yeah. I definitely get like the MechWarrior vibes from it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for sure. No, like
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I'd definitely be interested in checking something like this out once it gets a proper release.
Yeah. I'm always happy to, like, the last time I played a mech game that made me really happy was Hawken.
Okay, yeah.
That came out, we never got it for Linux, but it ran under Wine at the time. There was no Proton, there was no Steam on Linux. And holy fuck, that game was fun. And like, I think I watched like a mini documentary on like what happened to it. Apparently it's like still alive on the PS4 for some reason or some shit like that.
As you do.
It's the only place where the servers are still going. But Jordan, we could finally become the Murder Bush.
It's all I ever wanted. Murder Bush is a term coined by I think Sandy and we did a brief live stream of Origami, the ninja stealth game. And I had discovered that I was kind of trapped in a spot where people kept walking by, but I could keep murdering people and shoving them in the bush. Hence the Murder Bush. People just don't pay attention to the scenery that is stabbing you to death. And now you can become that scenery too, in MeMic, a game in which you play as a mimic. You crawl around a dungeon and you disguise yourself as various bits and bobs, crates, treasure chests, doors, etc. And then you try and kill oncoming adventurers. It kind of reminds me of, I forget what the name of that game was, where you kind of play like the Venom style symbiote and you got to like absorb people.
I don't know.
It's kind of like the stealth world of goo, but like action stealth world of goo. We talked about it on the show. I'm spacing on the name entirely, but like that sort of idea where like, I don't know. I'm always a fan of the play as the monster games. I always like when you get to like experience, when you get to play the Jason Voorhees, or you get to play the evil dude that is tormenting the heroes, etc. So yeah. This is available soon. It's out now, right?
Yeah, it should be. $6.39. Yeah, you can just buy it, dude. It's like price to sell now. It's not asymmetrical. You can't play as the.
Yeah, it's single player only. Unfortunately,
this looks like it would be fun for like 10 minutes. Then, like, I don't understand. Like, what? Like, do you hide and just like snatch people up? Like, that seems like that would have a limited entertainment value for me.
So Part of me feels like the Ghost game we played the other week, where like part of it is like, trying to separate the dudes, and like, because if you get spotted, they might be able to kill you, right? So you gotta like wait until they're all alone and then you schloop them up or something to that effect. And
like maybe there's a progression system built into it where you become more mimicky.
Or you can like you can impersonate like larger and larger or more complex things as you go. I mean, yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept. It's got one user review, and that's about it.
That's it.
So if you want to be the trendsetter here, check out MeMic.
MeMic. Sandy, you wish it had some multiplayer too, all right?
Oh, totally, 100%. Like, I could see myself, like, for now, like, just streaming this game on, like, the Discord server. And then, just having people give me, like, ideas of where to go and what to do.
That's what it was. Thank you, Mir.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Dude, yeah, I need to go back and, like, finish that game, dude. What are the rules for MeMics, though? My first thought is like, okay, I know a chest, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But can a
That's
MeMic,
the most iconic, yeah.
Are they volume size? Can they turn into a coin or something like that? Or are they like limited?
They can turn into essentially
how magical
everything.
Are these motherfuckers? Is what I'm asking.
So yeah, they can be in like any shape or form.
Yeah.
Technically they are intelligent and have their own language, which is a little factoid out of the monster manual that I always found was interesting. You can actually teach them how to speak English if you take the time.
There is one I'm familiar with, a book I listened to, Mimic in Me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally they don't like walk around and take multiple shapes. Generally, like a MeMic is created to be a purposeful thing to sit in a room and be a trap. This one kind of breaks with that, but like whatever, it's a fucking made up cryptid, right? Like,
you see, I think North Rangers got the better game, man. We need one where we play as fucking Odo.
Yeah,
solving crime on DS9.
Yeah. Yeah, dealing with changelings, that's nightmare fuel right there.
Just jump at our ship, pop off to the Gamma Quadrant.
Half of it is like the crime finding segment, and half of it is just the simmering sexual tension between you and Quark.
Yeah. Dabo.
100%. 100%.
Hey, we kind of rolled one this week when it comes to open source drivers.
Yeah. So this is from Kohlrabi, the vegetable. Collabora, from Faith Ekstrand. You know her. She works on a lot of the open source drivers. And there's a cool little development here. You might have this mispleasure of having to run the open source NVIDIA drivers on a card. It's for the same reason that you use Internet Explorer, right? You use it to download the thing that you actually want to use, and then you never launch it again. Nouveau was kind of like that with the NVIDIA drivers. It basically worked well enough that you could get Linux installed on a machine with an NVIDIA card, at which point you bust down to run level 3 and install the proper drivers. Now, with the advent of the new GSP firmware and the NVK driver, we have a high performance Vulkan driver that runs mostly via open source code. There's still the firmware that NVIDIA provides. But now this creates an opportunity, because there is another project called Zink, which is implementing OpenGL on Vulkan. And they've made some pretty good progress. It runs pretty well. It has full conformance with OpenGL 4.6, and it is not tied to any specific hardware implementation because it is implemented purely in Vulkan. So Nouveau is now going to be replaced with Zink and NVK. And that's pretty neat. The reason they're doing this, normally it's like, oh, well, we don't want to introduce any performance regressions, except for the fact that the Nouveau drivers are one massive performance regression, and therefore literally anything is better than the Nouveau at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah, so what we're talking about Nouveau is like, it's done a performance regression when your alternative is not work at all.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're like, can you go backwards from that? Like, we tried. We put our best people on it. Didn't work out. Shout out to Mark over at Collabora. He sent over an email with letting us know about this. And yeah, like that part of what makes Nouveau a good trailblazer here is that like there's nothing really to break, man. Like,
yeah, it was already pretty shit. Like, what was this going to get more shit? Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've been talking about this for a while over at Collabora, and the merge request was done. So this has been 3 or 4 days ago. So it should be something that you can go play around with, the Zink NVK bits. And like right at the end of the article, and they're like, there might be a little bit of a performance hit doing it this way, but you got to look at that through the right lens of like not working at all too, man.
Right, and I think like they were talking more about like compatibility layers in general, because it seems like the general goal here is eventually to just do away with Mesa OpenGL drivers entirely and just have it all run through Zink, because then you don't have to maintain an OpenGL platform implementation and a Vulkan platform implementation. You can just do one. But yeah, in the case of NVIDIA, yeah, you're not gonna get any performance regressions because Nouveau just couldn't run 3D at all. Period. Full stop. So now you can. But yeah, for stuff like Zilog or AMD or like Matrox or whatever, or Intel, maybe they're still going to be on the native OpenGL drivers until Zink sorts out all those sort of performance regression.
And they make it a good point to like, this is just the beginning. There's tons of bugs and performance stuff to work at. This is just toe in the water right here. Like, okay, we got a foothold. Like, let's start moving forward with it. And yeah, it's going to be that weird time, man. I mean, it's going to take, there was that like big jump, right? With going from like just
no Vulkan to,
like, oh, it kind of works now. And you can reliably plug it in and get to a desktop and not be stuck at like 30 FPS at 1080p or just something insane like that. All of your ports working. So
and I think the big one there was like DXVK, like the original DXVK, where people were like, oh, we can just like fucking implement this on Vulkan, and there's like basically no performance hit. There's some, but like it works well.
Strange times. Happy to see it. Not that anybody can afford a or get
NVIDIA card.
Yeah, even if you got money, dude, you can't even get them, man. I was looking on eBay today, dude. The going rate right now is like $3,700 for a 5090.
Jesus.
On the low end.
Just go rob someone. Jesus Christ.
Dude. Sadie, tell us about the FSR for all, man.
Yeah, but this is why people have, AMD, so they can FSR all the DLSSs. You know what I mean? So yeah, a bunch of modders got together and they created a tool to allow people to FSR4 games that would normally be DLSS or XESS, which is the Intel super sampling that system that they have. So you can upscale the upscales through different upscales. And this new application is called Optiscaler on GitHub. Yeah, it's called Optiscaler.
Yeah, running it on a 9070, dude.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
I think it's pretty dope, dude. I mean, it's an interesting way to go about doing things, like when you think about it. The Optiscaler giving you that, like as Andy said, FSR2, FSR3, FSR4. But it's going through DLSS. Like, this is like, oh, how do I use this? Well, it's compatible with games that use DLSS. And I'm like, I love this.
Well, it's the XVK. It's just straight up. They're implementing all of the FSR3 functions and so on via this tool. And I do like their little diagram in the article right up. The links to all this stuff is in our show notes. But yeah, near the bottom, for NVIDIA Reflex, it was fake Michelle's fake NV API. that got a good chuckle out of me. Yeah, where it just fakes all the system calls, and as far as your GPU is concerned, it's receiving like the appropriate instructions depending on whether you're on Intel, AMD, or whatever. And yeah, don't play this online, folks. Yeah,
come on, live a little bit.
Don't do it.
Oh yeah, they do make much like what was it with a DXVK, like async or whatever it was. This will get you popped. This looks really cheaty. Oh, don't play your online games with this. And what's this going to work on? Just the latest generation of the AMD.
I think it will turn on FSR4 for like anything that Optiscaler supports by translating the calls. I'm not sure about like going from like RDNA 3 to RD, or like going from RDNA 4 to RDNA 3 or something, because I think that would be like the big win is if you could like get the frame generation and stuff running on like previous gen cards, because they did get like ray tracing and stuff running on the 5000 series cards. Like, you can do that stuff with these AMD drivers because they're open source. So it's within the realm of possibility, at least. I don't know.
Oh man, you gotta give it to AMD. Genuinely tried to pull a little bit of an NVIDIA with the latest series with the ROCm support. They're like, these 90 series, these new GPUs don't really need ROCm. That's silly. And everybody's like, no, homie. And they're like, okay, fine. We'll let you use your compute, but we'd really rather you buy like this Instinct card at $6. It's like, nah, dude.
Nah.
Don't worry about it.
Ain't nobody got cash for that.
Nah, man. Dude, I typically don't I don't try to game at 4K on a card that I got a 3060, dude. Like I just play like 1440p and I'm content, man. Like I think the only time I've cut it on is if performance is terrible in something, and those games are like very few and far between. Again, because like I'm somebody who'll just dial it down to 1080p, man. Like that's running pretty bad at 1440.
Yeah. We stream, both of us stream a lot of games, so it's like whatever the fuck it is, it's in a 1080p window. So yeah, being streamed at 720p to Twitch or whatever, right? So
all of it's cool, all of it's getting a lot better, and I love all of these options. And like we've seen time and time again, like don't bother trying to like software lock this shit.
No,
people will find a way around it, and they'll do it quick, man. They'll do it quick. Even ZSS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
is that how it's supposed to be pronounced? Is ZSS? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about Zink. Zink was like an idea, and then like very quickly, they're like, "Yo, it runs on NVK drivers now. We have OpenGL on NVIDIA, fully hardware accelerated. It's great." So like, yeah, these things do move fast. Absolutely.
I think it's amazing, dude. And this is good. Steam Deck 2. Think about that. Think about that, because like this might be more good. I don't know. What do you think we're going to get? When do you think we're getting that Steam? Well, okay, here we go. At the beginning of the show, we were talking about like SteamOS is coming to everything. Who's going to be the first non-Steam Deck that everybody's just going to agree like this is what I'm reading the articles right now. Like this is what the Steam Deck should have been.
The Nintendo Switch 2.
Probably.
Do you think Nintendo legitimately has been able to print enough Nintendo Switches to combat scalpers? Because Nintendo, I read a report this week that there's something like 200,000 in inventory in North America.
Wow.
Well, and like I remember working at a Costco when like the Wii was really popular, right? And that shit was never in stock. Period. So yeah, I don't know if it's possible to be able to truly ever defeat the scalpers. They just have no souls.
I wonder if there's like a certain number to like leak to where people won't even bother with it, but somebody's gonna try, man. I don't know. I look forward to being able to have options with SteamOS and different type of hardware that will be able to, this is like stuff that I see this and I'm like, there we go. There's a SteamOS built a Steam machine with something like that. We could get some really cool, very interesting performance out of home theater
the
PCs.
Game station.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like my Dreamcast 2 upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Dreamcast 1. You're not going to call it the, God damn it, what was the one they never made? Not Saturn, the Pluto?
Yeah, the Pluto.
Pluto?
Yeah.
Was that the name?
And
I
then,
don't.
There is a Sega Saturn on the auction site with 3 games, and I'm like,
you fucking hipster. Just get rid of that.
If it doesn't go above $50, which it probably will.
$50. Ah, dude, I thought I had a fucking case, man. Go to my wish list and buy. No, Inwin makes like these really dope 1U mini ITX like aluminium server cases. Like,
I love them,
dude. Somebody was like, I got one, and he had like $15 on it. I'm like, little man, I'll give you $50 for that. And I thought I fucking had it. Didn't hear anything about it. Goddamn bid snipers show up last minute. I get the message and I'm like, yeah, because nobody bid on it. 1 or 2 people like bid like $5 or $6, and I started at 15. It was like at 27. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna have this. And my notifications like, you've been outbid, and I'm like, I ain't got the energy, dude. Get fucked. Have fun with it.
Demoralized instantly.
The worst is when you set the bid limit, you get outbid, and like you felt pretty confident that you were gonna get it. So
Yeah.
you check your phone like a minute after like the auction closes, and you're like, "Motherfucker, I could have gotten this. I could have thrown like 10 more bucks on this."
That's why I don't do that now. Because it's always like that's where it stopped too. The guy just wanted that extra penny, and like that's where you get tied in. Dak, go check him out. Make sure you don't order yourself the wrong one. Poor Dak, we got to pour one out for him. InWin is the name of the company. Might know De Kresny. He bought the Rock 5 ITX, and he's like, wait a minute, this isn't the Orion 06.
Oops.
Oops.
You got the form factor right. You got the 06 too. So cool.
Okay.
Yeah. We're twinsies now. All right.
Yay, twinsies.
Something you can run.
Speaking of ARM.
Yeah, man. Box 64. Hot new release, huh? Making things more compatible and more faster. Always looking forward to it now. Pain in the ass add-ons. DLC, I like to call it. Like the EA app, Rockstar Launcher, Enigma, the Nouveau.
Is that the Columbo game?
It can be if you believe.
I think so.
Basically, all the DRM bullshit that you got to deal with, which I don't really normally think about. But yeah, that's something that you got to deal with on Box 64, emulating the DRM on x86 and trying to get that shit right enough to where it doesn't throw flags at you and like crash in your face. And can we embiggen that? Yeah, there we go. Here's somebody moving around. Yeah, he's being
You get a little Harry Potter action.
captured with a 4060. So they've been working on that. That was like one of the big focuses on this, is tightening that up and making things like Steam a little bit less spike crashy, which I'll tell you more about the spike crash.
It runs on Box 32 now.
Yeah. And Box 64 has got 32-bit compatibility built into it now, which is also like super dope.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is just something you don't think about. Like, okay, so DRM is going to stick around. Like, I never thought about them having to deal with that extra layer of bullshit. And like, yeah, just absolute insanity, man. Look
man.
Look at all that GTA flying by at 25 to 26. Yeah.
You got to turn friction off, and then it gets real fun. No, but like, the progress here has been pretty good. Getting all of the syscalls implemented so that like you can start implementing a DRM layer is good. However, there is still some fairly substantial gulfs in functionality between the various chipsets that support. AH64 has all of the good shit here. RISC-V and Long Arch, not so much. You're not going to be running Steam on that anytime soon, but that's to be expected. Yeah, I mean it's still good to see these games now will run on your Orion whatever. That's always cool.
What was the some distro? I think it was this week announced that they're dropping RISC-V support. Yeah, they were just like nobody's released a. They had like one of the more powerful RISC-V boards, and they're like, it's been a couple of years, and like nobody, and it's like this is just taking too long to work into our build system. So
was it Haiku?
Nah, dude.
It was Gamer OS.
Yeah, that could have been it. But yeah, Box 86, Box 64 is something I've been playing around with for probably about a month now. What? Well, I got that Rock 5, and then I got the Orion 06, and I'm like, then I got this Orange Pi, and then two of those have a Rockchip 3588, which is a neat SoC. It's faster than what's in the Raspberry Pi 5, but it's got a difficulty multiplier on it. It doesn't have Raspberry Pi OS, which can be a problem. And a lot of these other companies like Banana Pi, Orange Pi, Raza, they make hardware, man. They don't make fucking software. The best they might give you is a Google Drive link to like a custom build of like Debian that'll work if you don't update anything. And I'm like, nah. Fortunately, the guys and gals over at Armbian, absolute saints, have an operating system that this is what you should be running. If you have anything that is not a Raspberry Pi, put Armbian on it. You're going to be a lot happier. And I get to thinking, I've seen more than one YouTube video of people like what we just watched in that video. They're like, here's GTA 5 running with a 4060. And I'm like, that's neat and all. And like, what are you running it on? Oh, we're running it on, a $15,000 Ampere box. And I'm like, that's cool to watch.
Yeah.
But what if I want to play with it at home without having to take out a loan? So I went looking around, and you could find some stuff for Raspberry Pi. not really up to date. And all the stuff I could find for like Rockchip, which is basically just player B at this point, was out of date, didn't work, over complex, had you building source, and like, which doesn't bother me when I'm like, there's got to be a way to thin this down. So that's what I did, man. Installing Steam on Armbian with a Rockchip. See, you don't even need a cutting edge discrete GPU, which nobody's brought up in the comment section. I'm disappointed in every single one of you. Boo. That's it.
They're getting on to you, man.
I'm telling you, dude.
You got to switch it up a little bit.
The Rockchip. So, yeah, I walk you through this. And if you want to take a look at some of the performance here, because I tried to pick a couple of games. Now, Jordan naturally was like, try the worst game ever made. I did. Didn't run.
One of the worst games ever made.
I had to try Half-Life 2. And that pretty much runs out of the box, man. Like, and again, I say in the video here, everything's at 720p, fugly. And this is like just a very straightforward Steam launches. You click play, then shit crashes occasionally. And you're like, oh, right. You know, it's always like right when you're in the middle of doing something, you're like, this is starting to feel pretty, boom, there's your desktop. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's very jarring. Like, then you run into things like Mango Hut. You have two Mango Huts playing Vampire. Okay, sure. All right. Guess we're looking at the desktop again. Broforce plays like an absolute champ.
Does it still slow down? I mean, it slows down on x86.
Yeah, with the chaos. KOTOR 2.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at this intense battle action. Still keeping in the 40s. Like,
yes.
Kind of like a Steam Deck performance.
You get a little 60 there.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried
Dusk.
hipster pixel.
Yes.
FPSs. There's a moose. Was a moose. Still get about 40 FPS. And distance blast from the past, man.
Oh, wow.
I gotta admit, man, when you dial all the special effects and stuff, this game gets pretty fugly. Trust me, it looks way better when you cut it
with shading and shadows and stuff.
Any effects at all. Yeah, but it's basically not just like, colored wireframe. And of course, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. This is on high because I was curious. 720p, everything maxed out, still getting 15 FPS. But if you dial it down to low, it gets real playable real quick, man.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's touching into the 60s, especially when your head's wiggling. So, and murder Legos. This one kind of blew my mind that this ran at all. And it did. If you don't know about Besiege, it is absolutely fantastic way to destroy villagers, man. So go check out the video and the full write-up on interfacing Linux, because I do what I do, man. I stick all this together, get it down to about 6 steps. So if you have a Rockchip 3588 powered single board computer, I'm going to walk you through it. Don't have to compile anything. Basically, you can blindly copy and paste this into a terminal and you'll be good to go in about 10 minutes, man, even if you count the reboot, and you too can receive Steam and play around with it. Now, something I do want to talk about, because the Mali G610, you're probably going to be tempted to like, hey, let me cut on the Proton bits. I see Strider talking about Bayonetta, man. Poor boy. He's so thirsty. But it doesn't...
Where does Bayonetta sit on the horny scale?
Yeah.
Very high.
That's a pretty horny
Very
game.
Yeah. I'd give it that, man. One of the issues, though, with like D9VK, DXVK, and all that, doesn't play well with the Mali G610 in the Rockchip 3588. So you're going to have to tap that penguin button and kind of stick to your Linux native games. And you know what? This isn't the fuck around and find out. This is really good. This is just good old fashioned, like, this is really cool that this is even working at all. It's kind of amazing. Is it a practical way? Are you going to be building a ARM powered? No, your Steam machine. This is in another castle, dude. This is like, oh, this is cool. Let's see if this works. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I wonder if this works. Oh, that's neat. It kind of works a little bit. Oh, this one's even playable. That's where we're at right now. This is an exercise in just ludicrous levels of neatness, bringing us some of that joy. And it's something you can try at home if you've decided, maybe you got a Raspberry Pi, but maybe you got, because like the Rockchip 3588s are just omnipresent in these boards because it has just been used and everything, and it's been out for a couple of years. So yeah, go try it. Interfacing Linux. If you like the video, you give it a thumb somewhere, poke your thumb into it. twist it around. Maybe give it a watch. I don't know, man.
No, but like even what was it back in January when you were first doing a lot of the stuff with the motherboard? Like you were like, "Oh, there's no way you're gaming on this thing. There's no way you can do any of this stuff." And now, like a month and a half later, like you're already testing games.
You get it figured out. I mean, we all have that experience of like thinking to ourselves, like, leave me in a room with some hardware.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll just see what happens, dude. And this ended up happening, and I was just go play with it, go learn something. Mm-hmm. Get Armbian on all of your boards. It even works on a Raspberry Pi, but I would stick, if you get a Raspberry Pi, stick with Raspbian or whatever the recommended thing is. Jordan's, and by the way, Sandy is on that Orange Pi that I was using to play the games right now. There you go. Sorry to bore you, Jordan.
No, it's good.
Jordan's
it's
like,
good.
fuck ARM. Jordan's got traumatic stress when I talk about ARM.
Notorious ARM hater, Jordan Spun.
He's just got this 1,000-yard stare thinking about Feedorf project and the Raspberry Pi 1. Like,
yeah. Yeah, you just hear the Rolling Stones playing in the background. I see a red door.
God, Fortunate Son comes on for me, dude. Yeah.
No, it's good shit. I'm just sad. I'm dejected that Curse of the Ravens Cry didn't run. It broke my heart, and now I'm wallowing in self pity.
That's something that Empty asked, and I'm like, dude, man, I talked about it on the show a couple of weeks ago. I tried it, didn't work. That I was curious because I already downloaded that bastard game, and it's not a small game either. It's like 16
50 gigs. Yeah.
So Steam, the cool thing Steam does, man, if it sees another Steam box and you have it set up, it just blipped it over to this box. Tried to start the Linux version, like that didn't happen at all, man. Used Proton and it at least came up with a pop-up menu to like select something, and that didn't work either. So like,
listen, I want to see the Pepsi challenge event for interfacing Linux of you trying to run Ark Survival Evolved.
Well, you see, I can cheat, dude. See, this is the whole point of like doing it on the Orange Pi, because I can grab that Orion 06. Guess what it has? A by 8 Gen 4 PCI Express slot, and I can draw. I've already showed you an NVIDIA card works in that. I wasn't interested in that. I want something that people can play with, like shit they got laying around the house, you know? And like that's why I like focused on this. And I know somebody's already brought up Fex in the comments. Fex works on this. Then we get back to that Mali G610, where hardware acceleration for the games don't. No, if you want to relive those early days of Mesa, before your GPUs, you were the teapot barely moving, you can do it. It'll launch. I don't recommend it, though. I do recommend everybody heading over to linuxgamecast.com. Come check out the show. Come check out the podcast. We do this live recording Saturday nights, 8 p.m. While you're there, you like the show, you want to help us out, we got a support tab, Shenanigan Financing. You can become one of our beautiful party patrons. The awesome, sparkly, not vampires, if we're hunting vampires that week. You'll be like, do we want a new blade? Do we want old blade? I think I'd want an old blade.
I think something tells me that the IOTA we got in Deadpool 3 was probably our best case scenario. I'm not sure if it can support Old Man Blade can support an entire movie.
You don't think we could get Blade Pool?
No, I want Blade versus Blade. I want Old Blade and New Blade teaming up to teach Woody Harrelson how to play basketball.
Well, if we ever watch it, we might review it in the pre-super shows, and part of the shit that you get for being one of the people who back us over at patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. You get the pre-show, regular show, post-show, all in custom RSS feed goodness, a video version of the show that's not on YouTube that you can just download, no commercials, higher quality, all that fun shit, access to the show notes, access to the super secret Discord, and I think like one or two other things. I don't know, right back. Naming your credits. That's right. It's magic.
Your personal credits. For
you hold up your credits at the end of every episode. I know you're out there with a... What do you call that?
The teleprompter or whatever.
No, the overhead. Overhead projectors. What?
Oh yeah, overhead projectors.
I guess those are not a thing anymore, right? A transparency
those.
sheet. Like, I remember those from like growing up, and like I guess those don't exist anymore. You just have like projectors now.
What was it, like cellophane? It was those see-through things.
Yeah,
it was like
plastic,
cellophane or something like that.
Yeah, it was this plastic. I remember like getting fucked off to being punished enough to have to clean those damn things. That's all like that's sticking in my memory right there. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this evening. Yeah. Did we get some outro music? Because it's time to cue. Oh yeah, we got some hay bale, don't we? Thank you.
We do. We do.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while. We haven't gotten any good one. We got some stuff about writing bash scripts.
How
from
can they get in touch
Shelley.
with us?
They can go to our website, linuxgamecast.com. We have
convenient.
a support button where there is a contact form.
We click
that you
the support button. Okay.
Yeah, or I guess contact button.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. And then there is the contact form, which you can fill out, read the instructions. Or actually, there's no contact form anymore, is there? No, my it's been several years since I've had to do this part of the segment. So my information is maybe out of date. Send an email to noreply@linuxgamecast.com. It is an email that gets checked. Our spam golem
under the video.
Send us some Patreon comments. We always read the Patreon comments. YouTube
Unless
comments.
you're like, don't read the comments, then we might not.
Then we have to.
This is not an uncommon request. We're like, don't mention to anybody I was here. I'm like, all right.
Fair enough. Your secret shame is safe with us. Anyways, Shelly D writes in and they say, Claude has an opinion when I ask it if they're sure that is accurate. GPT is overly confident and dismisses follow-up, usually telling my suggestion prompts to do it yourself with a guide instead of response. Mistral was much worse to the point and ignored most of the cut the bullshit kind of prompt elements. Bash is for everything. If it's over 100 lines, make it a Python and have the bash run it. If it can't be bashed, it isn't made for Linux.
What are we talking about? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was working on a bash script for the Box 64, and I was like, can I just automate those? Because this is a bash script. This should be easy. And I got curious. And I fed that shit to old Gimli, Gemini on Google, and it just fucked it up in spectacular, curious ways. Enough to where I was talking about it on the show. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this should not be difficult. And then common sense hit me. And I'm like, you know what? Let's not script this. Let's not perpetuate this. Let's break this down so people. And AI scripting. Like, I'm code bloat, baby. Code bloat.
Yeah.
Well, there's someone in Discord who's like, man, I can't wait to do like pipe make into GPT. And I'm like, enjoy your broken tests, man.
Come on, man. I don't think, I think I've had like 2 people in recent weeks, one this week. Somebody was asking I did the Jitsi Raspberry Pi thing. And I write in the documentation there, I'm like, yo, you need to like forward port 80 and 443 to the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. There's a YouTube comment if you want to go check it. Person's like, I don't know about that. So if I do that, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, like this is the correct logic train of like, well, when I go to a website, will it just go to
the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah. And I'm like, I understand that. But what threw me off is, below that was the Microsoft one, whatever it was called. I forget the name of it right now. The Microsoft
Cortana or Copilot.
Copilot, yeah. Copilot told me that's absolutely what would happen. and
therefore it is. The end.
And I don't, I haven't written back to that. I guess it only sticks out when the generated answer is wrong, and that person takes the wrong answer to a forum, like we get over in Interfacing Linux, to talk to a human being is like, no, that's just wrong. Here's how you do it.
It's the whole like Gelman amnesia thing writ large.
It's terrifying, dude. It's terrifying. But Brave New World. I just don't. Chat GPT, Bing, all this other shit. The one they got at DuckDuckGo's got an AI crawler, by the way. I saw that pop up on my anti-Blockatron 9000. I'm like, okay.
It's kind of daffy.
It is, man. Quack, quack. Now Sandy just wants to eat a duck. It's terrifying. Yep. You should see it.
I could go for some orange duck l'orange.
What do you got against purple duck?
Orange.
What do I have against purple ducks?
Yeah.
Purple ducks know what they did.
I don't know, man. I think they got a bad rap.
They killed my family.
That sounds kind of prejudiced against purple ducks. I'm not gonna
Purple
lie.
ducks, man. All right, listen, we're already running long. Let's
let's get the duck out of here.
go fuck yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You can always find us at 8 p.m. right here, twitch.tv. You know, Linux Gamecast. Go subscribe. You get notifications and shit. Get in touch with me. I'm everywhere. Easiest way to do that is hit me up in the forums on Interfacing Linux, but I'm on the Twitters, the Blue Skies. We got a Facebook page. Good luck. We just post shit there. YouTube, comment section, and Mastodon. I'm over on Mastodon, Mast.Linux. Yeah, you know what? Just click in the video description. I think I put all of our Mastodon stuff in there. Yeah.
I might be the ugly duckling, but I'm also a horrible goose. Honk, honk, honk. At Frojo at mass.linuxgamecast.com. At Frojo at bsky.app. Follow me. Yeah.
Seems
Quack.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while Jordan honks, I'm the honky. Get it? Okay. Whatever. Anyways, you can find me on Mastodon at Altimore at mass.linuxgamecast.com every time.
It's a long one. I'll give it to you.
It is, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I really wish they shortened it on YouTube like they do everything else, but I guess that would be impossible to, like, detect that.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's got, like, the weird names. Anyway, time for some credits.
Murder Bush.
Murder
I
Bush
didn't
for
choose the
life?
Murder Bush life. The Murder Bush life chose me.
Damn straight.
Just love that everybody knows what the murder bush is if you've played any games for any amount of time. You played a stealth game?
and any stealth games. We gotta thank our advisors out there, and we gotta thank our executive producers 1, 2, 3, 4, Ian, Kurducky, Drummer, The Targos, Barbara, Scott, Atomic. We gotta thank our little Nicky fans. They are Eggy, Basil, Empty, and KC.
Sea Monsters, John, Dirty Deed, Angel, Dementor, System TRL, Rider X Machina, and Mama Verta, Nuda, Truggy, Mike, and Kajo Rai.
And for the Death Notes, we got Redsky, Mark J, Terra Oil of Hope, Benjamin Nova, Chad, Romeo, Chris, Jill, Steve.
Hey, and all the beautiful cheerlings. The big
Look at them fly by.
girthy foundation. And of course, Sandru and Shoddy over there on a Libra.
This pay to win motherfucker over here.
That's right,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
I'm telling you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, get out there, go have some fun, go play around with Linux. And this time next week, we'll be talking about installing a SteamOS on our Xboxes and connecting to the PSN network to play
Tears of the Kingdom.
Nintendo games.
Mario Kart Racing. Yeah.
Animal Crossing.
Dynafire, everyone. See you next week.
Toodles.
5 dudes.